Hi guys, my name is Steve. Welcome to Disruptive Wealth Creation. As we slowly move out of the pandemic, it may be a time for a little bit of celebration. So the question is it a time to diversify your portfolio outside the stock market and invest in wine now? Today we look at the pros and cons of investing in wine and how you go about it. Currently there are thousands of wineries, but in truth, probably only about 250 produce wine that could be considered investment grade. This pie chart shows that 60% of wine is produced in France, with an additional 20% in the Bordeaux regions, 10% coming from the USA and another 10% from all other countries. So, what were the most expensive bottles of wine sold in 2020? Well, according to Ideal Wine, the most expensive bottle was the Musigny Grand Cru Leroy Domaine 2001, which sold for €14,250. Then moving on, we have the Romanée-Conti Grand Cru Domaine de la Romanée-Conti 2009, which sold for €13,500. And then we've got the Cognac Louis XVIII Remy Martin Rare Cask, which sold for the same price. Then we have the Romanée, which sold for €12,200. That was the 2012 bottle. And then the 2010 bottle sold for €12,000. So the question is, what drives the price of wine? Well, there's a number of factors. The first one is scarcity. So scarcity usually occurs when the wine's popularity is good and there's a large demand for it. This leads to a drop in supply and that increases the price. The second factor is aging. Aging of the wine potentially improves the quality of the wine. The complex chemical reactions involving the wine's sugars, acid, and phenolic compounds can alter the aroma, colour, and mouthfeel and taste of the wine, which may be more pleasing to the taster. And then lastly, brand equity is determined by the consumer. Brands are usually built up over years, and it is usually found in the name, the logo, or the design. All these three are intended to differentiate it from their competition. You can in fact join organisations like VinoVest, for example, and they will guide you through the wine investment process. It only takes a few minutes to sign up. Their minimum investment is $1,000. Or you can customize your package and spend more with VinoVest's master sommeliers, expert advice and investment models. They will help you create your own wine portfolio. You can then manage your portfolio, watching your wine mature and buy or sell at any time in the world market. If you feel like you need some wine, you can even request a bottle for that special occasion from your own portfolio. So what do we need to consider once we have bought our wine? Well, if we keep it at home in our house, there's a number of factors. The first one is light. You need to make sure that there's no direct sunlight on the wine. You can keep your wine in a fridge or cellar with little or no light. Temperature. That's an important factor. The wine should be between 14 and 16 degrees. The main factor is that there's no big variations. Wine has water, and this can lead to the wine coming through the cork and oxidizing the wine. And lastly, humidity is an important factor for the upkeep of your wine. If your cellar is too dry, then there is a risk that the cork might dry and pop, and again the wine will oxidize. An overriding and important factor in wine investment is also provenance. Provenance is where the wine comes from. So you need to buy it from a trusted and reputable merchant, and you need to be sure that it's been well stored and properly looked after. And lastly, you need to make sure it is not a fake. So what are the pros and cons of investing in wine? Well, the pros are that with fine wine, the bounce back during an economic turmoil is a lot quicker. Secondly, price is determined by good old-fashioned supply and demand, so there's no real worry about tweets or interfering politicians making statements. Thirdly, wine is considered safe and stable investment. In fact, it has been around for a long time. And also that it's open to new and experienced investors alike. Also, there's no capital gains tax because wine is seen as a perishable item, although in the future this may well change. And lastly, statistically, it has been proven that wine has outperformed the S&P 500. So, what are the cons of investing in wine? Well, realistically, if you buy bottles of wine for hundreds or thousands of dollars, you cannot store them at home. You need to keep them in a proper wine cellar, and obviously there's a cost to that. You also need to insure your wine. That's another cost. And you probably need to get involved with a company like Vinovest so that they can give you advice and help you on your journey, which again is another cost. But more importantly and funnily, the last temptation is that you may end up drinking your wine. So, should you invest in wine? Well, if you haven't made up your mind yet, I would strongly recommend you look at Dowell's Stock Talk. He's on YouTube and he's investing in Vinovest, and he will be giving updates on his wine investing journey. So, if you have enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you'd like to see more content, make sure that you hit the subscribe button below. This video was made for entertainment purposes only, so please seek professional advice if you want to take action on investment. Thanks guys, my next video is out on Saturday, and good luck with your investing.